And now it's time to say goodbye. Hey there, Rooster Teeth fans. Welcome to the final episode of Rooster Teeth Reviews here on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, we are covering RWBY for the Season 6 volume recap. Guys, it's going to be a good time. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I can't believe it, guys! We're here! It's the end of the season!
I can't believe it.
Yeah, and
it's kind of a series finale for us, though.
It is. This is just, no, we got a hard out tonight. Let's not waste
We are
time.
Emotionally overwrought.
Let's
it's fine.
not waste time commiserating at the top of the show because we've got too many good memories to go over
founder
tonight.
Keven Undergaro.
Oh, goodness.
We were really hard out.
We're already
real
over.
early tonight. Anyway, hey there, Rooster Teeth fans. Welcome to Rooster Teeth Reviews. Tonight we are recapping Volume 6 of RWBY, and we're giving you all our thoughts. Let's not waste any time. I'm Megan Salinas, and to my left is Mark Donica.
We're going out on Rooster Teeth Reviews episode 69. Bam! We did it! We did it!
To his left, Stacey Shuttleworth.
Nice.
Self 5. Nice. And to her left, Katie Cullen.
It has been legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Yes, it has been. Guys, we are going to be talking, we're going to be breaking down all of Volume 6 for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about our favorite character arcs, some of our favorite moments. But we also want to hear from you guys. We want to hear not only your favorite moments from this volume, but since it's our final episode, we want you guys to let us know what is your favorite Rooster Teeth Reviews memory. We've already got a little bit of that going on in the hashtag. So guys, yeah, let us know what was your favorite thing that we did, I guess, or favorite memory of listening to this show.
And I want to lay something down real quick before we really get going. We're not going away. We're not going to be in this format on AfterBuzz TV, but we will continue to talk about these shows. We already are. We've got a Discord, which is like the live chat all the time, and it doesn't go away. We have an anchor.fm link where you can listen to all of our shows. Like, we're not done. We're just transitioning.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
We're going to give you guys more details later on in the show. But for right now, we might as well finish up our housekeeping. So yeah, you guys comments, use that hashtag RTReviews. And Mark and Katie have you guys covered in the live chat.
Yes, we do.
And we have a quick announcement for you all.
Yes. We want to thank everybody from our time here at AfterBuzz TV. We want to thank Phil Svitek, Stephen the Mew, anybody who's worked in there, Josh, who's been working it for the past couple of weeks, Steve Egbert, who's been working it previously, anybody who's come before, and we want to make sure that you stick around here on AfterBuzz TV because there's a lot of good stuff. There's a giant robot show that seems to be wrapping up right now that still is going on right now that you can stay subscribed to this very channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe here so you can get that. There's a Soul Eater recap that's happening right now, but we wanted to thank you for helping us and the network become the ESPN of TV talk. It's for this network to continue to grow, it needs your help. So if you're on YouTube right now, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a review as well. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so that you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV helped build this team and helped it become the monolith, the giant monolith that apes worship and like slap stuff at. So yeah, I know. I'm all over the place because I'm looking at this booze in front of us. But we wouldn't be here without AfterBuzz TV. So please make sure to continue to support AfterBuzz TV even after we leave you today. So thank you to AfterBuzz and thank you to you, the fans, for helping AfterBuzz TV be the ESPN of TV talk.
Help us, help you, help us become a podcast.
I think on that note, guys, I think it's time that we take the parting glass. We got these RWBY shot glasses, and we have a bottle of writer's tears. So, guys, thank you all so much for the memories. Cheers.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
What else?
Come by.
Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody try to
Sláinte.
dab and take a shot at the same time. So
I
you
tried
just
it, it
made
didn't work.
history, Mark.
And I did want to say,
beautiful.
writer's tears provided by friend of the show, Farley. Thank
Oh,
you, my dear.
Farley's great.
Thank you so much, Farley. It is delicious. Ah, that is good whiskey.
It
All
is.
right.
Dang.
Now, with the parting glass out of the way, guys, volume 6. This volume has been a wild ride. I rewatched all of it in preparation for the show tonight. Guys,
Damn.
let's start with Katie and go around the table. What did we think of volume 6?
For reviews, people like to use the phrase, it has the highest highs and the lowest lows and this and that and the other, and that's pretty much what we got here. Like the only I'm losing it, and I only just had one shot. Oh my
That was
god!
half of a shot.
That was not even a full shot of whiskey.
No, but it's multiple shots of my emotions. We got the scariest Grimm that we've had, and I will fight anyone who says the Nucklevy is scarier. The Nucklevy is scary. The apathy are worse. We got one hell of a lore drop in multiple different ways. We got a fantastic fight at the end in several different stages and several different fights. We got closure on something that I was expecting to go on for 1,000 years. I'm very happy. This was a hell of a season. Well written, well executed, well assembled, well acted. Just, yes. Yes. This is my favorite season so far.
Stacy.
This was, absolutely all of those things. It was such an excellent season. And for a traveling season, too. We were going from one place to another, and yet we had so much. We had so much character growth. We had so many things falling into place. We finally got so much information that we have been just dying to know, and on we go to continue building our lore, because there are still more questions.
Mark.
This was interesting because it came with a lot of baggage at the very top and at the very end, but it was a lot of waiting to see what happens. And I don't know why it took me so long to kind of get into it. It was just maybe I was just in a weird place when the season started. But this is one of the best seasons that they've ever done. If people have legitimate quote unquote criticism with the fight, the story, the this, the that, I think this season did everything to subvert all of that and really stand out. We got everything. We really did. We got everything to the point where moving forward, what are we gonna do? I think
that's a good
it's
question.
left us at a really clear plateau of we have a couple of things of what's gonna happen next, and the overarching isn't like there aren't as many loose ends. So it's becoming a lot more focused, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
I have to agree with all of those sentiments. I think this was the best season so far. I think it's given us some of the best fight scenes that we've gotten in the series. It's definitely given us the best fight scenes that we've gotten in the new animation engine. Mm-hmm. It's given us some really good characters. I am in love with Maria.
Yes.
It's given us great character bits. The word I keep coming back to in my brain when I think about this season is payoff. Because it's payoff for a lot of waiting. It's payoff for a lot of questions that we've had. And it's payoff for a lot of buildup, as we've gone from one place to another. We started out in Vale, and then we went to Mistral, and we went to Menagerie, and now we're going to Atlas. So it's payoff for a lot of waiting for going from one place to another. And same Mark. I am really excited with what comes next. Speaking to that, I think the biggest thing to talk about this season is the giant lore drop that we got, where we were introduced to Salem's backstory and how it related to Ozpin. It was both of their backstories, and the fact that they were in love and it was their love that doomed the world is kind of incredible, and it recontextualizes everything we thought we knew about these characters. Mark, what did this giant lore drop do for you? In terms of how you evaluated the characters we thought we knew.
Anytime we get any sort of a lore dump, it never feels like enough. And with this, it told us everything that we needed to know while leaving some space open. And even in World of Remnant or hearing about Stark, there's been plenty of opportunities for us to go, oh, well, that's where they could do a prequel. That's where they could do a prequel. They're leaving room for a prequel, blah, blah, blah. This, we have lifetimes. we have literal lifetimes of the very beginning of the world, or the very beginning of Remnant, of the second go around, or even going way back to the creation of the world and other business. That's a theater joke. But there's I can't fathom what was left on the cutting room floor. I know who to ask, but I know they're very, very busy, and their name is going to come up later in the show when we thank everybody who's ever been on the show. But I can't believe that the version that we got was it was very hard to get to that length and that amount of information.
Stacey?
We've got, and I kind of agree with what Mark was saying about we still have so many questions. We got the big picture, basically. So now we understand the bigger strides that got us here. But there are so many smaller brushstrokes that we can still explore. And we don't know exactly how certain things work, how certain powers and relations work. Man.
I love that metaphor. That was lovely.
But it leaves for a lot more information wanting, even though I felt like we got so much to still be sitting there. Wait, no, keep going. Keep going. You've got more to say to me, right?
It's only been 26 minutes. Where's the rest of it?
Exactly.
It's that gif of Zuko flipping the scroll over. Where's the rest of it?
So yeah, Katie, what were your thoughts?
Dang it! I have so many thoughts, and then you call on me, and I'm just like, what?
You knew you were next.
I knew I was next, and I had them, and then they
Miss
went
Cullen,
away.
Do you have something to contribute to the rest of the class?
Depends. Did you bring enough writer's tears for the rest of the class?
Yes, I brought
Here we
2
go.
bottles. Excuse you, I might need more.
Okay, fine.
Excuse you twice. Give me that back.
That was a
Just
gift.
Give me that back.
Just before we lose it.
No.
It's safe in my pouch.
It's not safe in your pouch.
Is that
It's not
what
safe
it's
anywhere.
So Katie, your thoughts
I've
on
used
season
this
6?
metaphor with Kingdom Hearts before. Every time we get a new installment, we see a little bit more. We're basically looking at the story through a peephole. And then for Kingdom Hearts, it was Birth by Sleep. That was like, here is the context. Here are the corner pieces of this puzzle and also the picture that we're trying to make. Have fun. It's, again, we've been looking at it through this little peephole, and then all of a sudden someone throws the door open. And that's what happened this season. Every time we got a lore drop before now, it was, oh, magic is real. Oh, the maidens are a thing. That fairy tale's real. What else is? Oh, this. And with this one, it's like, kicks in the door. Hey, guys, guess what? Salem's immortal, and things are screwed up right here. And the gods abandoned us and blew up the moon.
It's like
Yikes.
Ozpin was reading excerpts out of the book, giving us little passages all throughout the series. And then in this season, Jin just ripped the book out of his hands and threw it directly in our faces. And that's...
Like, no, you're telling it wrong. You're telling it wrong. Give it to me. And then just shakes everything out.
doing a bad job. Speaking of Jin, now, again, we wouldn't have this giant lore drop if it hadn't been for this character, this new character who... We get one more question, guys. One more question, and then it's 100 years of no more freebies. So I want to know, what do you guys think the final question is going to be?
Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure the villains are going to get it.
Oh! Sorry, I just clutched my pearls.
You really did. Wow.
I clutched my Kokiri emerald.
Full on necklace. Woo! Oh, my stars and garters.
Oh, I do declare. Stacey, what do you think the question's going to be?
So I had always assumed that it would be, the big right question, what they had to ask, not to destroy Salem necessarily, but to change the course that they're set upon right now to stop her destruction. I don't necessarily think that anymore, though, so I don't know. I like the idea of the villains getting the last question. I think at this point...
where's the final relic?
Right.
What do I need to do to kill Ozpin?
You can't!
Damn it!
Mark?
How do we help Salem? That's what I feel it is. But I would also like to share some of the stuff that we're getting in chat right now. Malakroma said, rips the relic from Ruby's hand. What the heck happened to Summer Rose?
Legit.
Charles Hockenberry, what do you want for pizza?
She might give you a freebie for asking that question.
Maybe.
But no one's asked for that before.
That
Mecha Soundwave. Jin, what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction?
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of
What's in the box?
there's a
How
lot
do
of
we
really
save Salem?
There's a lot of really good questions in here.
The final question will be asked during the final stand with Salem, says Cam Griffin.
Maybe there'll be a callback to stopping time, but it will be for an actual thing.
Yeah.
Nora will jump in and go, "Can we ask for more questions?"
No.
No.
Goodbye.
Well, it locks itself up and
That's like, but Jin, how are you?
Yeah, like, how are you? How's your day going?
That's
Those are
two questions.
I'm fine. No one's ever asked.
Honestly, this is the most entertained I've been in millennia.
I do love that. Like, I love the idea of us having a moment straight out of Aladdin. What would you wish for? No one's ever asked me that before.
Hey, Jin, is Pepsi okay? Timely joke, Super Bowl.
Give me a beer. I thought you didn't drink. Well, I do now. One of my favorite vines.
So, do we have any final thoughts on the knowledge that we gained in this volume?
I really like, for one, I love the design of both the gods, especially the god of darkness. And I think my favorite thing is just, don't blame me, the moon was full and I was left unsupervised with the god of darkness just destroying the moon on the way out. You can't have any nice things.
Learning how the moon got
Got
to be
wrecked.
the way that it was an excellent bit of visual storytelling. Any other final thoughts? All right. Well, guys, let's talk character arcs, because with this giant lore drop that we get, the knowledge that the characters now gain, everybody's sort of faced with their own existential crisis. So let's talk about RWBY and how RWBY reacts in the face of this knowledge and how it affects everyone. Our RWBY is just proving time and time again that Oz might have made a lot of mistakes over the millennia, over the course of all of his lifetimes, but one thing that was not a mistake was picking RWBY to be the leader of this team. Because
Absolutely.
she's constantly leading by example. Mark, what did you think of just the way she was always constantly just a shining beacon of positivity and hope in the face of overwhelming darkness?
She hasn't necessarily changed since the day that we met her. Somebody posted either in the Discord or on the hashtag what season 1 to the end of season 6, and hers was, I want to be a huntress. Oh, like, oh my gosh, you're a huntress, to I'm a huntress. Mm-hmm. And her calm in the face of all of this, despite the ridiculous circumstances that they're in, you can see the responsibility without even having her say anything, because she has the lamp on, she carries the lamp. So it's like a Frodo situation. And I hope that we get like a Weiss. I can't carry the lamp,
but I can carry you.
Miss Ruby, but I can carry you. And we
On my wasp summon.
something, and we get.
I'm not going to do it myself.
That's something for the shippers for later. But I like RWBY's resolve, and I kept expecting Crow with like a you remind me so much. You remind me so much of your mother, and we never got it, but we got that image thanks to Jin. But yeah.
I don't think we ever had that explicit moment, but that moment, one of the many moments where he tries to hold her back from essentially going up the pipe and destroying the mech, and she turns around and pulls her hand away and says, I need you to trust me. That look on his face, that to me said he's seeing shades of Summer right there, and possibly the last thing Summer said to him before she died.
Ooh.
We don't know. It's fun throwing theories at walls and seeing what hurts people.
oh, yes, that's what's fun.
It's not what sticks, it's what hurts.
Stacey, what did you think of RWBY this season?
She really is the same old RWBY, except she's just grown up and grown into herself. And one of my favorite things about her this season is watching her just absolute trust in the adults around her and her obedience to what they want her to do kind of morph into more of a consideration of her own confidence in her own ability when she knows, something isn't right, or this is what we need to do. And seeing her actually push with that, especially towards Crow, to push back and to say, no, I know that this is right. And to see it pay off, because she is a leader.
I think for me, the standout thing for her this season is that over the course of the last few seasons, she's wearing the sorrow that she's carried in her heart since the beginning of the series. She's wearing that on her sleeve now. And you can definitely tell in the way like Lindsay's voice has been directed, where, everything, yeah, she's still fun Ruby who sees the goodness in a lot of things, but like the sorrow in her heart because of the loss of her mother, which again, she's had for forever, but kind of hides behind a smile. It's on her sleeve all the time now. And it's something that allows her to reach out with compassion and understanding in every situation. And you're absolutely right, Stacey. It gives her this presence of calm that is perfect for the type of leader that she is. Katie, did you have any thoughts on Ruby this season?
She's wonderful and I love her. It was best summed up, and I think it was Cam in the chat saying she's showing the difference between a naive optimist and an experienced optimist.
Yeah, that was not Cam.
That was not Cam.
No,
I messed
that was
up.
half the battle won.
Thank you, Half the Battle.
That was good. Oh,
Cam
I got
just
chills.
says good things. So it's either Cam or Malachroma that comes in with the diamond. So that's kind of my default. But Half the Battle.
Well,
hell yeah.
kind of integral to Ruby's journey this season is meeting Maria and learning what it means to have silver eyes, and also Crow's sort of journey as well, because his existential crisis is the exact opposite of Ruby's. When he gets presented with this, he hits flat out rock bottom. And so Ruby has to deal with that. She gets a mentor who's at the lowest lows, but then a mentor who's already hit rock bottom years ago and has sort of climbed her way back up. Mark, what did you think of the way Ruby's relationship with Maria and Crow developed over the course of the season?
Sorry, I just had a big mind-blowing thing and I wasn't listening.
Oh,
Tell us the mind-blowing thing.
mind-blowing
Tell us
thing.
the thing.
So what if Ruby didn't see, and I don't know if this has been confirmed or not, so this is just something. What if Ruby didn't see Summer? What if she saw herself in the future?
Ooh.
Because somebody brought up that she's dressing more like her mom. What if that's not her mom? What if that's her? How can she know that she's dressing like her mom? How can you be there's probably photos, but everything that we've seen has been her in a hood. So maybe it was the vision of her as a confident huntress because she was at the mountainside by her mom's grave. Has that been confirmed? Has that been talked about? Either way, sorry, but what was the question?
The question is Maria and Crow this season.
I like how you'd mentioned the existential crisis, but what if I like more the dichotomy between Ruby and Crow, and Stacey had brought up listening to adults, but Crow being the exact opposite, not being how you deal with that stuff.
No.
At all. And in the face of that, going from, hey, you're my cool uncle, to you're my responsibility. Mm-hmm. And Maria seemed to act accordingly throughout. So I was happy that we got her, but I wasn't necessarily surprised by any of her actions.
Stacey?
I think Maria's no-nonsense approach, because of her experience, was
No buts.
extremely needed in this case. And not only for Team Ruby and, Team Junior and Oscar, but for Crow especially. And seeing them play off of each other was actually one of the most interesting parts of their interactions. I think watching how I think she recognized something of herself and where she had been, not necessarily with the drinking, but with that kind of lingering despair. And there's no coddling when it comes to Maria, but she's going to get you through it.
I love her so much. I love that for this we got 3 generations of scythe wielders, and the 2 that each have inspired a younger generation both feel like failures. Maria because she gave up, and Crow, my life is a lie, Bronwyn, because he believes that his entire life has been a lie. I keep going back to I am no one's blessing, because God bless that ridiculous melodrama line. But yeah, we have the youngest of the crew basically stepping up and going, we need to keep going. We need to do this. Crow to me had one of the more interesting character arcs this season. And this was a season with a lot of interesting character arcs. I spent most of it wanting to throw him out of a door, but he needed it. He needed the reality check. And I talked about this last time, but rock bottom, a solid foundation. Now we can start to build, and he maybe needs to learn that he can start living for himself and the people around him and not necessarily require this grander cause.
Nowhere to go but up.
Pretty much. Courage Wolf.
I love Maria. I said that at the top of the show. I think her the fact that she's the Grim Reaper is super cool. Given what she tells us about Silver Eyes is really cool. Again, we got another little lore drop after the massive one, where it's like it doesn't tell you a ton, but it tells you just enough to keep the things moving forward and to keep things interesting. I loved the flashback sequences that we got. The TikTok Faunus was so cool. Literally my favorite Faunus ever. And then she died.
More of a reason for prequel stuff.
Exactly. But for Crow, I gotta say, I am so happy that they finally, I mean, maybe I'm not one to talk because I just made everybody take shots right before we got started.
There's nothing
but
left.
Like we didn't consent.
I really appreciated that they finally addressed Crow's alcoholism, because when Volume 5 dropped, I remember being in the theater for when they showed the first episode of Volume 5, and when Crow falls off of the sofa because he's like, I did it, and he's so drunk he falls off the sofa. I remember everybody in the audience laughing and just being like, oh, that's our Crow. And I just remember thinking, like, yeah, it's fine, but like, guys, he's a serious alcoholic. It's not funny anymore.
Taking a serious problem not that serious until it blows up in everybody's face in the future. I wonder if anything can be learned from that.
The more you know.
That problem would be gone forever.
But hey, this next season we're getting a brand new Crow in more ways than one, so I'm very excited.
For sure.
They just take the line from Mummy 3. Honestly, I can feel like I'm an entirely new person.
Don't quote the Mummy 3 at me.
That's the only thing that I think they did well in that movie.
Ruby's
that line
actually good, though? Like, RWBY is actual quality entertainment?
I don't accept movies that retcon better movies. Anyway.
So, half of the horror
Quiet
genre,
you.
then.
All right. Sorry.
clutching my pearls over here.
Do we have any final thoughts on Maria, Crow, and RWBY before we talk about iTunes?
No,
I love all of them so much.
Yes, we still got a lot to talk about. So, guys, before we move on with the rest of the episode, we want to talk to you about iTunes. Folks, thank you so much to everybody who's gone to iTunes over the course of the last 4 or 5 years.
5 years since the start of the RWBY Volume 2 after show.
Mm-hmm. It's meant the world to us, and it's one of the reasons why we were able to take our various after shows and continue doing them when AfterBuzz was changing their formats into Rooster Teeth Reviews, because you guys let the producers know that you guys liked the show we were putting on. So guys, we want to give one last iTunes shout out for going to iTunes and being kind.
This is Made by Fans for Fans. You're damn right. By Super H. I just wanted to say I love these guys. They are true fans who irradiate a contagious sense of geekiness that you just have to admire. This isn't just a show made for fans, but by fans. I started listening to them after Volume 2 of RWBY, and they have become part of my experience with RT ever since. I know I'll continue to follow them as they continue on. Dust you later. Thank you very much, Super H.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
It's fine.
There was actually a bet in the Discord on who would cry first.
It's fine.
Can I get in on that action? Because, Megan.
Quiet you.
She's fine.
Oh, that's Charles Hockenberry. What's up?
Hey, Charles.
Hey.
But yeah, guys, it's meant the world to us. Continue supporting AfterBuzz, because again, this team wouldn't be together if it wasn't for them. So, thank you guys.
There's a lot of people that have taken part in this show over the course of the years, whether it be as the RWBY After Show, whether it be Camp, whether it be Red versus Blue, X-Ray and Vav, Crunch Time. We've gotten the opportunity to speak to a lot of amazing creative individuals, and it wouldn't have happened without the fine folks here at AfterBuzz TV, Keven, Maria, Phil, Phil, Steven, all of everybody who allowed this show to have a platform. We wouldn't be here. I can only say that I was able to talk to the man once, but I hold it very, very dear. The fact that we were able to talk to Monty Ohm on this show is something that I will hold very close to my heart very, very close to my heart until the end of time. But we've gotten to talk to Gray, Miles, Carrie, JJ, Shannon, Jen, Sam Ireland, like anybody that you can think of that's been involved with the show and other shows too. We got to talk to Jordan and Lindsay for X-Ray and Vav. We had Sam Levine and Andrew Disney in to talk about Crunch Time. We've had a multitude of amazing guests and have made really good friends in the process, both on the press side and as a part of Rooster Teeth production. And none of that would have happened without you allowed us to continue here, and you're going to allow us to continue elsewhere as well. But AfterBuzz has been our home for the past 5 years, and it's moving out day. So I guess we might have a little bit more time to talk some more at the end of the show, but I just wanted to make sure that we got that out there.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for everything. You're wonderful, and you're the best. All right, guys.
You had to speed through that. Now that happens back.
Malik Roma said, "You want to know who the first person to cry was? The answer is me."
Aww.
Oh, Mal.
The chain.
Oh, Mal.
And that's the other thing. We wouldn't have met you guys either. Yeah. You guys are all freaking wonderful. Every person that we've met on Twitter, on the Discord, in person, in the chat, you guys are all wonderful, and like it still blows my mind that anybody wants to like be a part of just the little conversations that we have every week. So it means a lot, guys, and the fact that we get fan art, it's mind-blowing and humbling, and you guys are wonderful, and you deserve nothing but the best because you're the best.
And,
all right.
And we're gonna give you the best. We're gonna keep going and ramp up the stakes and do even better for you because we love doing it and we want to do it for you.
All right, let's get back to Volume 6. Guys, you know who had their own little, like, side quest this season? Neo and Cinder. Like, they were just kind of doing, like, their girls being girls thing. Like,
Which
all
I
on the
guess
side.
starts with a fight to the death.
It starts with Little Miss Malachite, and
She's my favorite.
she's so great.
I have many
Wonderful.
favorites, and she is one of them.
I love Neo's reintroduction in this series. Like, it was so, like, even though I got spoiled for it, it was so gratifying to see her come back. And guys, so yeah, I want to present the question, where do we think Neo's going in the future? Because I feel like with Neo back, Cinder's not long for this world.
Yeah, Neo's going to murder Cinder at some point. Possibly in her sleep.
Stacy, what do you think? How do you think Neo's gonna kill Cinder? I guess.
Well, Neo is an agent of chaos. However she does it, she's gonna make it look real good.
Honestly, she could make Cinder think that there's a staircase when there's a cliff. Like, it could be, well, Cinder can kind of fly, so maybe not that. But you know, could be anything.
I mean, maiden powers are a lot to contend with, so Neo's gonna have to be smart about it. Mark, any thoughts on their team-up / inevitable betrayals?
I mean, we've had Loki as a thing in the Marvel Universe and his illusions being so literally God tier. So we have another example in popular culture of how somebody with quote unquote just illusions can hoodwink an entire realm. So I don't think Neo is anything to be scoffed at. I think she'll at least take one person down with her if she ever does go. Or she'll kindly excuse herself and leave through the emergency exit.
I have to go. My planet needs me.
You know, we never got confirmation for who Neo was based on, though there have been some theories. I'd love to see just based on Loki. Illusions and murder. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, could be. I really liked the Mary Poppins theory, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
As far as their team up goes, I'm sticking with the theory that Cinder's going to be berating Emerald, and then Neo's going to stab her in the back, and Emerald's going to become the next maiden. That's my theory, and I'm sticking with it. And speaking of Emerald, she and Mercury also sort of have a little crisis of faith going on as they're hanging out with Salem, and they see Hazel get like handsed.
She's
And
being handsy. That's not okay.
it was not. It was not. She just
It's a very hands-on approach.
Too
I
hands
hate
on.
that.
Too many hands on.
But she is well armed.
It's fine.
It's the last one. I had to.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so do we think there is a redemption arc in the future for Mercury, Emerald, and Hazel? Because there's been a lot this... We didn't get a ton of them this volume, but what we got seemed to make everybody sort of think that they're reconsidering the path that they're on. Mark, what do you think in terms of redemption?
Despite the lack of emotion that we seem to get from Hazel, he seems to be a very logical person and only let his quote unquote only let his emotions get the best of him when he knows that Ozpin is in the room. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. If anybody's feeling like you're stuck in traffic or whatever, letting out a solid Ozpin shout is very therapeutic. So it's so good. And just the fact that I forget the name of his voice actor, but I remember at RTX this past year, that silenced the concourse because he saw Shannon across and then walked up and said, "Hey, what's up?" But
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I was on my way up to press and I just heard an Ozpin, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool."
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. But I think Hazel is gonna help the kids do a little bit better. I don't know if Mercury can come out of it. I think he's gonna try too hard to be new King Edgelord, and he'll probably die in the process. Eventually, maybe not next season, but eventually.
Probably because of Tyrion. Stacey, what do you think?
I think at the very least, if Hazel does not, about face himself, he's going to help get the kids out. We've seen Emerald on the path of turning and seeing that, no, this is not where I want to be for a while now. And I thought, Mercury's fine with it, especially after his little revelation partway through the season. But after that very end credit scene, I think Mercury had a change of heart too.
I don't want to be here anymore.
I was going to pick Emerald, definitely. Mercury, probably not. Hazel, maybe. And now Mercury is in a solid maybe category as well because he definitely I'm going to be king of the new world. I'm going to do this. It's going to be great. Oh, dear God, I didn't realize how deep I was. Oh, man.
Yup.
It's always a nice little realization to watch roll out on screen. Great facial expression.
Oh, go ahead.
Especially with him because we don't see it very often. So when
This
it
deer in the headlights.
when it panned to him making that face, I was just like, oh God, what is going on?
I really hope Hazel puts all three of them on a little redemption arc. Or if nothing else, I hope Hazel gets a redemption arc because for whatever reason I have no idea why, but I really like him. And I'm doubling down on my Emerald will eventually become a maiden theory. Because again, she's eventually going to realize that Cinder doesn't care. And I think the sooner she realizes that, the better. Speaking of Ozpin, the whole Ozpin just sort of locking himself away in his own little room inside Oscar's head causes a lot of drama. Not only do the kids have to figure out, okay, where do we go from here? But it also causes a lot of drama when they meet back up with Team Junior. And this is where we get a big moment for Jean when he basically assaults poor Oscar. And then Oscar disappears and Jean has to sort of confront what he did. And during that, we get probably the most emotional scene in the entire season, which is where he sees the memorial for Pyrrha. And yeah, I know we kind of went over this in detail when we were talking about the episode, but now that it's been a little bit, now that a little time has passed, what did we think of giving this emotional beat to Jean this season?
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, he hasn't really been on a self-destructive bent, but he's definitely blamed himself and his self-worth has taken one hell of a hit. And so he needed not only this, but the subsequent conversation with Ren and Nora about we love you just as much. Yep. Please, for the love of God, stop trying to kill yourself in battle. It's not okay. He needed this. He spent a lot of time being not okay.
Stacey?
Yeah, he really did, especially with Ren and Nora. I think that was the most important interaction to come out of this, and for them kind of knitting back together. Because we'd seen Jean take, the lead several times earlier in that season, and we see it afterwards. So he is growing into that role of a leader, and that arc was one of my favorite to watch this season, because he really filled out that role. He really worked real nicely into it. But having this emotional closure and having Ren and Nora kind of step up and reiterate how much he means to them and how much they all need each other really set them moving forward again.
Yeah, I feel like thematically a lot of this volume was dealt with depression, whether it was the apathy, removing your will to go on, whether it's, getting closure from grief that you're experiencing that you're refusing to let go on, whether it's, again, just having an existential crisis about your place in the universe. A lot of this season was about dealing with emotionally being bankrupt and how you move on from that. And I feel like Jean's was like the perfect way to sort of put a pin in that part of that emotional journey for that particular theme.
And it helped me out because I thought that Ranger was going to go in the background, or Junior was going to go in the background, and this helped me go, no, okay, yeah, they have stock in all three of these characters, more so than just, Ren, use your trick again.
Do the thing!
Yeah.
As much as I would love to just go on and on about the apathy, since we are running a little short on time, all you need to know is that I love it, and it's great, and I will go on and on about it later. But what we would be remiss if we didn't talk about a big component of this season, and that's Blake and Yang getting closure with Adam. Guys! Yes! So good!
Yeah, very rarely do I sit here and go, closure and murder should be the same thing. But here, oh yeah, that Venn diagram overlap is a circle, as it damn well should have been.
It should have been a hint that we were getting the flying barangels at the end of the season, because Ding Dong, the bitch is dead.
The Wicked Witch.
The wicked bitch. I said bitch. Thank you very much.
You did.
Thank you.
There have been a few fun comments about the flying monkeys where if we have time, I'll rattle them off, but they good.
Well, we should talk again about Blake and Yang and Adam, because again, for most of this volume, Blake has been sort of inadequately trying to make it up to Yang, and it's a very sweet gesture, but she's going about it all wrong. And then, every time things seem to be going well, Adam would pop up and ruin things and then disappear like he was a ghost. Like, it is weird thinking that he was just hanging out in the woods while the apathy thing was going on.
Honestly, he was probably on part of the train. We've had it pointed out to us multiple times that the one that Blake saw on the train was probably real, and the one that Yang saw at the apathy house was probably an hallucination. So odds are Adam was just chilling on the train, waiting for the rest of the team to show up,
reading a
so
magazine.
he could get her alone. Like,
But what did you guys think about the way they handled this? Because Adam's death is a very controversial element of this volume, because people
This table.
not at this table. Not
this
at this
table is correct.
This table is correct. At this table, but a lot of people want it. We talked about this again during the episode, but a lot of people woobify Adam or try to justify his behavior in some way. And so, how do you feel about the way they handled his sort of exit from the show?
Well, it helped affect the political landscape of Remnant, to where something that mirrors here, where you have a lot of people that are political activists that are trying to get a certain agenda out there, go to violent means in order to do it. And in one way, shape, or form, there is a larger machine behind it to try to disrupt the world to help their gains, whether it be financially, politically, whatever. And personal gains. So how Adam's death revealed the bigger political landscape, I felt was very interesting.
Stacey?
And, like we've mentioned before, revealing that in that moment was about all we needed more from him as far as the Faunus were concerned. We were told very clearly, even in the first episode of this volume, that Adam and the White Fang are not in harmony anymore. He marched in there and killed anyone who dissented. They're no longer on the same path. He's not a representative of that cause anymore. So yes, we still have the Faunus cause and we still have these issues that we need to address head on, but Adam is not the spokesperson for that. And Adam's time was done.
I want to bring up for mine, John saying, not justifying Adam, just wish they took the time to deepen his character beyond psycho boyfriend. There wasn't anything else to him than that. And there are some people in this world where that's all they are.
Well,
that is who they are.
We got it in his short. We got him starting out as a political idealist. We found out why he was attacking the Schnee Dust Corporation. It was all in that short. And his evolution and de-evolution to skeezy boyfriend.
Yeah. To just murder a psychopath, using the White Fang for his revenge instead of for trying to get things better for the Faunus. Just sometimes there's just nothing more to people than that. Sometimes someone is just evil. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, there's plenty. There are so many things wrong with that.
Something about what you said doesn't sound right.
Hold on. There are so many things wrong with people being evil, just generally. But there is nothing wrong with having a character, with having an antagonist who, it turns out they're just a murderous psychopath. It happens.
I think it was the moment he takes off his blindfold is one of the best uses of visual storytelling that this series has ever done.
Once we figured out what it said.
Because it says everything you need to know about why he is the way he is and why he feels the need to make other people feel small. And it explained everything about him without ever justifying it. And seeing him go was super gratifying, and basically getting Bumblebee as canon was pretty great. We protected each other, and it's beautiful.
That was the growth we needed.
I think
Buzz, y'all.
On that note of Bumblebee's canon, we gotta wrap up tonight. We want to say thank you guys for everything that you've done to us. Thank you to AfterBuzz TV. Thank you to Rooster Teeth for being so gracious with your time over the years. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everybody who's been a guest on this show. And most of all, thank these wonderful...
thank everybody. You too. You too.
You too.
Everybody.
Yeah. And again, we are not going away. We are still going to be talking about all things Rooster Teeth on our Anchor channel.
I think Hockenberry put it in chat, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But we're going to college.
Oh, yeah, we're going off to college.
Yeah.
We're going off to our own Hunter and Huntresses Academy. Well, do you think... I was going to say Beacon's not taking applications at the moment. I don't know.
I hear we should stick to their local radio station. They might have some info.
Oh,
That's
yes.
true.
So, guys, if you like what we do here, check us out on Anchor and follow all of our mishaps and adventures there. You'll get more Welcome to Vale. You'll get RWBY Redux. You'll get RWBY Recall. You'll get the Gen Lockdown. So many fun things. So, again, thank you all so much for everything. Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you like reaction videos to all these episodes and whatnot, they live on that YouTube channel. I am also on an Overwatch podcast called On the Point.
Stacy.
I'm Stacey Shuttles. You can find me all over the web at Stacey Shuttles. Come on the Discord and talk about bees with me.
Bees?
Bees! Mark.
Find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. Anchor.fm, we have premiered a number of shows that we're going to be doing on that network, but we have more that we haven't announced. You might be able to posit what some of those other shows may be. Maybe you won't. But twitter.com/theroosterteam, tpublic.com/theroosterteam. There's a sale right now. And on Anchor.fm, since we are essentially going independent, we do have paid subscriptions that you can sign up for there, and it would really help us out moving forward, getting better equipment, and getting back to live video, because we're going to be losing that. Anchor.fm/theroosterteam for more information. And we have a PayPal, but we'll talk about that later. So me, Mark B. Donica, and the team, the Rooster Team on Twitter.
And I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin. Yeah, guys, I also do a Lost retrospective podcast called No Love Lost, so be sure to check that out. And again, yeah, be sure to check out all the cool shows that we'll be doing on Anchor. We'll have a new episode of Veil coming out soon.
I lost the recording, so I have to re-record it.
These things do happen.
But again, we can't say thank you enough to everyone for giving us this wonderful experience. You all are great. And guys, remember, for the last time,
Dust you later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.